Hi, John.
Hey, Alex.
Do you know what I hate?
What's that?
I hate when you have like a gnarly wave that's coming in from the south and you got a curl top 360 full and you go like full gnarl on it, but then it's just like, man, these waves are mine. Yeah, we watched Airborne.
Wir fetzen durch die City und wir düsen durch den Park. Wir driften die Kurven den ganzen langen Tag. Die Kappe voller Flint und immer volle Kiste. Ja, so geht es ab hier, wir fürchten keine Piste. Alexandra brettert am liebsten durch die Pfützen. Es macht dir tierisch Spaß, die anderen nass spritzen. Kamikaze Markus, hey Leute, das ist heiß. Der geht sogar im Winter mit Inlineskates auf Eis. Inlineskates, komm wir fahren Inlineskates, 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 fahren Inlineskates. La 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 la.
So first of all, this movie, and I'm shocked I said this so much to the point that I had to text you off air. This movie's so much better than I thought it was going to be, and it has any right to be. Like, it looks good.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you know who the director is?
I do not. didn't look.
Rob Bowman.
Well, that name sounds familiar to me.
Yeah. Reign of Fire, baby.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, friend of the show, Rob Bowman.
Wow. I mean, other than Zack Snyder, he's one of the few returning directors.
Yeah.
It sounds good, which, by the way, what the fuck was Stuart Copeland doing anywhere near this movie?
Making money, I guess.
Yeah, boy.
But I was kind of as awful as, frankly, the music was, because there were some real stinkers in there.
Yeah.
But I do like that kind of throwback to this movie. Well, hold on, how do I want to say this? I kind of like the throwback to like the 90s stuff where it's you might have a soundtrack for a movie that's not just like the popular hits of a day, where it's like I feel like if this movie came out now, it'd be like, okay, here's your Nicki Minaj song, here's your Rihanna or whatever the young people like. Where this was like, no, we got Stuart Copeland to kick out some jams.
Yeah, which I actually, I thought it sounded good. I mean, not like it sounded good for now, but it sounded like in 1993. I feel like, oh, this would be a great soundtrack, and it's like it just, it filled the movie well because this, by all rates, this movie should have Saved by the Bell guitar riffs, and there's
it's not that far away from it.
No, but there's not many, and at least they're done well. But Stuart Copeland, that was vaguely
unexpected.
Yeah. So let's get to the main thrust of this movie.
Well, before we get to the main thrust of the movie,
please, John.
I would like to point out, and you can see this if you look it up on the Wikipedia, the IMDb, the poster for the movie has 3 separate taglines. You know how sometimes it'll be like this time it's personal. This one has man wasn't meant to fly, kids were.
Oh.
Mitchell became the most popular guy on Earth once he took to the sky, and heroes aren't made, they're airborne.
Hashtag airborne, hashtag.
Yeah.
Hashtag
so like
tagline.
they had 3, they couldn't decide, so they used them all, and I admire that. That is now my favorite thing about this movie.
I mean, there's a lot of favorite things about this movie.
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay, so first of all, I know it's not directly in the rule book, but I think it's implied that dogs can't play basketball.
No, but it doesn't say that dogs can't play basketball.
I know, but I know Bud was very good at. Wait, what movie are we watching?
Yeah, it's the same. It's basically the same movie.
I was so tempted, and I wouldn't do this to you because you have time, and I value your time far more than mine. But,
boy, that's not true.
Well, no, but like you're busy and like do stuff, and I would hate to ruin it for you. But I thought it would be funny for me to literally not watch this movie and watch Air Bud, and then see if we can make an episode out of it.
I honestly, on the way down here, I had to download our last episode and listen to the end. So it's like, oh my God, did I watch the right movie? Because we didn't actually directly talk about it too much afterwards. So it's just like,
yeah.
Did I watch the right thing?
Well, last episode, I think, was 100 hours long. So yes. It was. So the movie opens, shots of the ocean.
Beautiful shots of the ocean.
This movie's like 85% like stock footage of ocean. Ocean, surfboard, guys surfing, boards, guys, cool guys, boards, rollerblades. It's a weird. See, I came up as a skateboarder. I've been known to pop an ollie on a skateboard when I was young. I could grind a rail, and skateboards used to be called street surfing because the natural progression from surfing is skateboarding. It's really weird, this established thing of surfing and to go to rollerblading. It's just the intrinsic combination of those. The entire movie just kept going, why is this just not a skateboarding movie? This is so fucking weird.
Well, let me tell you, as a kid that grew up in the Midwest, absolutely it's the same thing. Like, I've never been around anything cool other than what's shown to me on television. You rollerblade, you surf, the same guy. Like, I totally get it. Like the Mitchell Goosen, the main character, is exactly who I thought a cool guy was when I was like 8.
And he was fucking cool. I actually had flashbacks to 93 going, oh, this would be like, I was in my 1993 head. I would want to put in some sun in my hair, get that exact same haircut, and get one of those poncho things and say Brah.
Yeah, no, I was already past that. And like, that doesn't say that I was cool. I was not. But by the time this movie came out, I was already over it. But I could see the appeal, like I said.
Well, I was 93, so I was
12
13. Or 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I think okay, if this movie had come out in 91, I think I would have been really into it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like,
yeah, you're right. It's probably just a hair over but that kid would have
And
been...
if you made him a turtle that was also a ninja, oh yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. I mean, he basically is just a Ninja Turtle.
Mitchell Goosen is the name of a guy from Minnesota, not a California surf man. Like, if he moved to, because the whole plot of this movie, we'll get into, is basically that he's this California surfer dude that has to go live in Cleveland for a while. But if he had to go to Duluth, and his cousin that he meets in Duluth is named Mitchell Goosen, you'd be absolutely.
That is a very Minnesotan Ohio, though. Like, they're very almost Canadian in there. Like, the mother, the lady from Ferris Bueller's, had a, like, kind of, oh, yeah, welcome there, don't you know? Like that style, like...
But I think that's also the flyover states that, it's all the same.
No, but, like, they're in, what, Cincinnati?
Cincinnati.
I mean, that's like a city. Yeah. I mean, it's not, like Cincinnati, with and they're obsessed with hockey. That's, why not just set it in fucking St. Paul or something?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
There's a lot of like weird, inexplicable things that happen in this movie, and I think that's why I kind of like it. Like, it kept me on my toes in a way that I wasn't expecting, where it's like, because it's beat by beat, the exact movie you would expect.
Yeah.
But every beat, it's like a half second later. So like, it's going to be, it's going to be jocks versus preps. Well, no, it's not. It's going to be jocks versus preps versus our lead character, but then the jocks are actually, like, there's like, whoa, this is weird. Like, this is it's a fish out of water story combined with a Revenge of the Nerds style, fight against one another, combined with, no, that's not actually what's happening. It's really fucking weird.
So Mitchell Goosen,
the goose,
has spent his day in Cali, Brah, surfing and racing his homie on the rollerblades, and then he gets home.
John,
yes,
I'm only going to say this once.
Yeah.
See this adhesive bandage on my finger? Mm-hmm. They're called inline skates. Rollerblade is the name of a company, and I will defend its fucking trademark.
Rollerblade, Brah.
Anyway, so yeah, he's rollerblading with his
rollerblade with his bra. And he gets home and immediately takes his rollerblades off his shoulder, puts it down, and goes like, thanks, amigos. Thanks his rollerblades.
Yes, he thanks his rollerblades.
Yeah.
And John, I wrote down that quote. Would you like to hear it?
Uh-huh.
You guys were awesome today. Gracias.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he thanks his rollerblades because they were awesome today.
Yep, they were.
Before we even get into his house, I'm not much of the rollerblade enthusiast. Mm-hmm. I think I did some rollerblading when I was younger, but every time he landed a jump, his back leg would kind of hit the ground, and then like he'd skim his knee a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like, it looked like he fucked up every landing. Or is that supposed to be, like, a cool way to land?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I don't understand people that watch skate videos. Like, I've never seen a skate video where... I've seen, like, maybe one thing where I'm like, oh, that's cool. In general, it's just people Oh, he's on a railing and now he's not on a railing. Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I don't know if that's he's pulling a fat Mickey or whatever that move is. Like, I don't know what he's doing, but apparently it was good enough that the Team Rollerblade, mind you, that was on this film went, yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah. To me, it seemed like if you're going to land a trick, like if this were gymnastics, I know both of you and I are far more familiar with, if these were professional gymnastics, landing a trick with 2 feet down is much better than 1 foot and another dragged behind you.
But that made it relatable. So I'm like, I bet I could do that.
Yeah, I mean, most of the tricks of this movie, I thought I could definitely do that. Like, like all the backflips, all the downhill, like I'm totally there.
It's every day, man.
Actually, the only part of this movie I thought I could do was that one kid that got hit by the car. I went, yep, that's very much what my experience would be.
Yeah, when Wiley kept falling over, I got this.
I think I'd be even now at my very advanced age, I think I'd be slightly better than Wiley on a pair of rollerblades.
You know what I found with roller skates? Because I tried those on recently. A friend of mine had a skating party I went to. Boy, my ankles are garbage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like maybe I just put the skates on wrong, but the whole time I'm like, this is so hard on my ankles.
Okay, so
he thanks his...
He says, you guys were awesome today. Gracias.
Yeah.
I love also the 90s where saying random words in Spanish was cool.
Oh, yeah, that was like cool surfer guy thing.
Yeah.
And then it became the providence of like middle-aged white guys at a Taco John's.
True.
Or, whatever there's not a chain. There's not an Applebee's type chain that's Mexican restaurant that I can think of.
Qdoba?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, Chipotle.
Oh, yeah, Chipotle. Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking somewhere because usually that's like uno más cerveza, por favor. Like that's what that became.
No, I got you.
Not that it was great before that.
Let's just say Senor Frogs.
Yeah. Right. Well, it's to the point that I don't like if I'm somewhere that's Spanish speaking, I don't want to say it in Spanish because I feel like an asshole doing it. So yeah, he gets home and his parents are like, Mitchell, sit down. They're sitting very awkwardly on the couch together. And they're like, sit down. And he knows something's up. And they announce that they got a grant because they're some academics. And they're going to Australia to study something. Plant life, botany. They're zoologists or something. Oh, yes. They're studying wombats. Yeah. And he's like, sick, brah. I'm going to go to Australia. I believe he calls out Tant Sheila's because he's already hit with the lingo.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, wait, you can't join us for some reason.
Because he has to finish school, I think.
He has to finish school, and he's not equipped to go to school in Australia. They
don't speak English there.
They don't speak English. There's a whole kind of different entrance exam, all different kind of racism he's got to be.
Yeah.
So they're like, you can't go with us. You're going to go to Cincinnati with your aunt and uncle and your cousin Wiley. There's literally nothing else we can do.
Yeah, this whole setup is really awkward.
Yeah, whatever.
But you think in the sequel he goes to Australia, then learns how to say thank you in Aboriginal Australian?
That would be pretty nice. Wait, wasn't that young Einstein?
Well, no, I think he was originally Australian.
Oh.
And then he blew himself up trying to make beer.
That's what it was.
And played the electric guitar.
I can see how I got that confused.
Boy, I've seen that movie more than once.
Oh, yeah. That was okay. So I really enjoyed that movie when that came out. So that tells you my level of thinking of what's cool around this time. So sure enough, he's stuck going to Cincinnati, and he takes his surfboard with him.
Yes.
Yeah, we see that getting unloaded from the plane, and he meets his aunt and his uncle there, and they mention that he has a surfboard, and you're not going to get much use out of that there, son. And he says, what does he say? It's like my American Express card.
I'd feel naked
without it. And then they're confused in this way that I'm not sure is that they're so square they don't get the reference, or that he just botched the joke and they're just not even sure how to react.
I think what they're going for is they've never seen anything like this.
That is true.
Hey, don't you know he's making reference to the things that's what people on TV say. But this is my nephew, and he's saying it in an airport. Hey, hon, he's saying it in an airport. It's supposed to be on the TV. I don't even know how to react to that. So they're in the airport, and they have that weird conversation, and the lady from Ferris Bueller, they're like,
Edie McClurg, her Zamboni driving husband.
Yes.
And Seth Green as Cousin Wiley.
Again, why Zamboni driving? I mean, Cincinnati isn't a hockey town.
No, it is not.
They don't even have a hockey team.
Don't
I mean,
they?
like a professional team.
The Cincinnati Cyclones or something? Because I looked it up.
Not an NHL franchise.
okay.
What are some other cities in Ohio?
Cleveland.
Cleveland doesn't have a
Which
team.
I'm told rocks.
Yes, Drew Carey told me that once. Yeah, Cleveland doesn't have a team either. Yeah, I don't think Ohio has a hockey team.
Yeah.
Unless there's another Ohio city.
Those are the only two that I know of.
Yeah, so
and therefore there are no other ones.
yeah, so they don't have a professional hockey club because again, this feels like it should be in Minnesota, even though I don't think they have a hockey team anymore. Oh no, the Minnesota they got shut up, Alex. So
Whatever. Yeah, but it's like that would feel more natural. But I think it is just those northern Midwestern states, they're all the same. It's fine.
Yeah, so they go back to their house there, and I'm just going to do the rest of the show like this. I think it'd be really fun.
Oh, no, that's not true at all.
No, I think it should, John. Oh, my John, you don't even want to be saying that.
Oh,
so
golly, that's not good.
So we're driving back from the airport, and don't you know that Wiley, he's just bad at driving there, and he comes to a screeching halt. You wouldn't even believe it. Oh, I'm telling your father about this. That's just an Irish at the end.
Yes,
I'm telling your father about this. Yeah, so they get to the house, and we're introduced to Wiley. They meet Wiley at the house. Whatever.
Wiley.
Oh, the real of him dressed with the fringes and the John Lennon.
Yeah, he's all there.
Is at the airport, and then they go to his room.
Yes.
And his room is wacky.
It's hip.
His room reminds me of the under the bed world from Little Monsters
Absolutely.
with Howie Mandel.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, how the fuck did Monsters Inc. not get its ass suit off?
I don't know. You asked the same thing during Nightbreed.
Did I?
Yeah.
Fuck, I should listen to this show.
No, I just remember it because we had a whole conversation about it. Because Nightbreed is essentially
this is something
Little
familiar
Monsters.
now. Yeah. Okay, so there's multiple layers to
a
this.
multiple episode arc of Alex's diatribe against Monsters Inc.
Well, because I just watched Little Monsters the other day. It was on at the bar, and it was as strange as I remember it. It's a fucking weird movie.
I just remember really liking the villain, the big villain at the end, the weird schoolboy man.
All right, so they finally get established, and we move into. Hey, we have to go to school.
Right,
and
that's why I'm here.
And Cincinnati has a fast-paced school for some reason.
That was a very funny beat to me because it is this. I don't know if beat's the right word, but it's a very funny thing to me because it's like he's in this school that is crowded and there's a Latino gang. And it's like, this is not anything new to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he's from L.A.
He's from L.A. Like, he's seen all of this stuff before, but it's like, oh, look at this guy. He's not white. And now, granted, he might live in, like, Orange County or something. I don't know. I don't know what white parts of California are, but they're,
No, he's like, I mean, I think, okay, one, I don't think there are I don't think there's any part of L.A. that's whiter than Cincinnati.
Right.
I cannot
I think that's very
imagine
true.
that.
Yeah.
But two, wow, what do you guys, you're in such a rush. Yeah, because that's what I think of the Midwest.
Yeah.
You know, the rush, 24-hour, just
Cleveland.
running everywhere of Cincinnati or Cleveland or wherever the fuck we are.
No, it's Cincinnati.
Yeah.
The city that never sits down is what it's called.
It's a weird beat. Okay, and then we get introduced to, I'm going to say, so he's at the school and we meet this just racial stereotype, this Mexican kid called Snake. I mean, I really don't even have anything to say about that other than they meet a kind of greased back hair Mexican kid named Snake that's like this he's gonna kill people, and Wiley says he killed and ate his brother or something like that. Just
it's done in this way like that Mitchell is a small town boy in the big city. It's like he's from California.
He's from LA.
Like
LA's like the second biggest city in the country, I think. Maybe it's the first.
No, it goes New York, Cincinnati, LA.
I always get those confused.
After he's confusingly run through the halls at school, the first class he goes to is, I guess, a speech class?
Speech class, correct.
And this teacher just is phoning it in, frankly. He does not care. So he does this whole exercise where it's have the students give a speech to introduce themselves to the class. And so the movie can do a whole lot of exposition about introducing people.
Wait, can I just stop here, though?
Yeah.
It's snowing, right, when they get in the airport?
It is, yeah.
So school's been in session for 5 months? Because it's high school.
Yeah, the Midwest is weird.
Because generally you have a class and you're in that class all year during high school.
Yeah.
So why would they be introducing themselves?
There's been you get snow in September. It's Midwest, baby.
I didn't. Frankly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
It's not.
with Cincinnati.
It's not that normal of a thing.
Yeah, it's just what I like refer to
No,
as
it's dumb.
convenience.
There are several things in this movie that don't make sense.
Well, I mean, let's not go that far.
But so you get to this speech class, and like already all the girls are like, hubba hubba, look at this hunk of man, and we get weird internal flashes from them. Like one of them looks at him and sees him like all shirtless, sitting at his desk.
Awkward.
And I was worried that because this movie used to be on all the time.
Yes.
Comedy, like 90s kids will remember this. Comedy Central used to run this all the time on like Saturdays, whatever. It was always on.
Well, I mean, it's one of the funniest movies we've ever seen. Yeah. I mean, there's you can't get a scene without 6-7 jokes happening. Just bam, 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 joke.
It's like
joke.
30 Rock.
Yeah, no, it's season 4 Simpsons funny. I mean, this is,
but
barely stop laughing.
It did make me worried because I can vaguely remember it just from sort of getting a contact high from seeing it, but I was like, oh God, is this going to be a Powder type situation where this movie is sort of like lovingly looking at his teenage body the whole time? No, not really.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
So that scene is incredible. So the first dream sequence, and this is where, again, this movie takes tropes and does them from like a side angle. So this movie's from the perspective of Mitchell.
Sure.
The first dream sequence we get is the bully dreaming about throwing Mitchell through the glass of the room.
Uh-huh.
Then we get the dream sequence of the pretty lady imagining him shirtless.
Right.
Since when do you get dream sequences from the perspective of tertiary characters?
Well, and I was starting to think about this, and unfortunately the movie ended up proving this wrong by just sort of meandering and being a different movie. But like Mitchell's the villain at the beginning of the movie for these kids, and they are 100% correct in their hatred of him because he's awful. Like he's, I mean, you've already established that he thinks his rollerblades by saying, you were great, gracias. But he's all like, he's saying some Zen stuff, bro.
No, but they hated him before he said anything.
Yeah, but they're right. They are totally, and they have not said anything about him that wasn't true.
I don't want to go to bat for Mitchell because I think
going to bat for Mitchell.
Because he walks in,
Mm-hmm.
they automatically hate him because he bumped into Snake. So Snake already hates him and wants to kill him. Then it comes to, hey, you should give a speech, and he gives the peace sign, and they're all like, oh, you asshole.
Yeah.
He's fucking 15, whatever the fuck age he is. Giving the peace sign is not the big. He's from California. Like, how is that a impeachable offense?
They're absolutely right. I'm siding with the bullies in this one.
Oh,
he's the worst.
I mean, no, he is the worst. I just don't think they had. I don't think they had the factual evidence yet to damn him.
Okay, so it was fair enough. So it was a preemptive strike.
Yeah, all they knew about him was Poncho.
It was correct. But no, I think their preemptive strike was correct because everything that Jack Black was saying, Jack Black being one of the bullies, in a understated performance.
Oh yeah,
for Jack Black,
yeah,
understated both in size and size of Jack Black,
or just size because no, he was way over the top like the entire time, like very Jack Blacky.
Yeah, but I even for Jack Black, I think it was not as. He hadn't become the caricature of Jack Black, so he didn't have to play to that level.
Oh, that's true.
But he was still very big.
Yeah. No, I actually really enjoyed him in this movie. Mm-hmm. And so here's the statement of the night where this is my everybody's going to make fun of me for statement. I actually thought pretty much everybody did a good job in this movie, like acting wise.
Oh, it's everyone's fine.
Yeah, like it should be a lot worse. Like I think actually the worst acting in the film, and weirdly enough, it's the most established actor, is Seth Green. I think wasn't that great in this.
No, although Wiley's not that great of a character.
You might be right. Maybe it's just the character.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Seth Green fan generally, but he's fine. But yeah, he's.
Yeah, it's just I was surprised how good Mitchell was. Like I'm not like I just I don't know the actor's name, but that guy. I was surprised how well he played the part. Not that it particularly matters or it's a difficult part to play, but I was expecting this to be Oh, you
like Wayne
are
Gretzky hosting SNL.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was expecting just wooden line reads and everything, but it's like, no, he fucking committed.
decent,
which
yeah.
I can't stress it enough, and I think I've said this in at least 75% of the episodes. Very low bar to clear is what I'm referencing, but he cleared the shit out of that low bar. He rollerbladed, jumped that low bar, and then had one foot go out back and have his knee pad hit down for some inexplicable reason.
But yeah, so we get this very long sequence of these kids introducing themselves, these different characters, whether they appear more than once or not.
Yeah.
And that way you can figure out who's who. And my favorite character in this is Rosenblatt.
Oh, broken nose guy.
Something happened to Rosenblatt. He's wearing this like Bill Laimbeer combat basketball face mask thing.
Yeah.
And he's got 2 black eyes, and he's having a very difficult time speaking.
Oh, I love him.
But the class has his back.
Yes.
They are cheering him on. And so then I just became fascinated by what's going on with this guy. Like, then I started thinking about there being an extra desk for Mitchell to sit at. And I started telling this whole story in my head that there was an accident between Rosenblatt and this kid who sat there. And that's also why they're so mad at him.
Yeah. I love your theory. And I started to have that thing too of, I love this. This is the best character ever. Inexplicably, there's this guy that's got broken face or whatever. But then they kind of explain it later, and it's like, oh, that's actually...
Oh, did they?
Yeah, he got in a hockey fight.
Oh, right, that's it.
Yeah,
and
it's
right,
just...
right.
Oh. Like, because I would love... Just randomly, there's this very broken man.
Yeah,
like that would
people are pulling for it.
Yeah, that's a much better character than someone that got in a hockey fight. It's like, that's sort of explain it. But okay, but you're from the Midwest. Maybe you can explain this to me because I'm from a coastal area, and therefore I had culture. Was anti-surfing a thing? Did you guys hate surfers?
Not that. I mean, I think
because boy, they hated this kid for being a surfer. They're like, yeah, surfer scum, like.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because you were there, like you were in the Midwest.
I was not in Cincinnati. I don't know how it played in Cincinnati, but in Omaha, I don't think people had a strong opinion about it.
I mean, Omaha my crowd. Sounds very close to Ohio. I feel like it's the same place.
It's pretty much the same place.
So you didn't experience this really hardcore.
No, we didn't spend a lot of time thinking about surfing, to be honest.
Yeah, but they hated the shit out of surfers.
But it's way different if you were like, oh no, I surf versus like, bruh, I want to hang out with Gandhi. Beep, peace sign. No, that guy can go to hell. I don't care what city you live in. You should correctly be throwing that guy into the sun.
It was the anti-surfing sentiment. Like if he said, if he said, oh, you're an asshole, or use some kind of 80s anti-gay slang, which I was shockingly, no anti-gay words were used in this movie. For an early 90s film.
Yeah.
Shocking, because I was expecting someone to be called the F, the other F, or just be called
anything.
Straight gay.
Yeah.
Like,
they did call Popeye gay, but that was more of a situational thing.
Yeah, well, I think him and Bluto used to date, so I think that's actually factually accurate.
That is not canonically correct.
I'm pretty sure it is, because that was the whole thing. They had this whole polyamory thing with Olive, and then it got weird. As sometimes how the whole sometimes poly
well, it's because they didn't keep
their
communication open.
Exactly.
Right.
I can't stress this enough. Yeah, I've been I was talking to my girl Olive. I was like, Dan Savage. You need to listen to him. He knows what's up. He is a insufferable asshole of a human being, but he knows how to have 3 people have sex with each other.
And she was like, well, cool. I will wait 50 years for him to show up.
And then I'm shocked to say that I enjoyed this, and it's so stupid. And no, I'm not shocked. I take it back. Because the way it was Jack Black's full delivery, where he goes, did he just call you a piece of underwear?
Yes.
The way Jack Black delivered that line was very fucking good.
Yeah. And then when it happens again, he's like, he did it again. And he's just furious, but I don't know. I like Jack Black all right. I think he can get a little grating at times, but
it reminds me why I liked Jack Black before
how he got to be Jack Black.
Yeah, because I used to love Tenacious D, like the show back when it was on, like right before or after Mr. Show on HBO.
Yeah,
the Tenacious D. It's like, oh, I fucking love the show. And then like years later, when he started to get like Hollywood popular, and then he still did some of the same stuff, and I'm like, oh, I hate this band. Yeah. What the hell was I thinking? This reminds me of like, tired of it. Oh, that's why. But he used to be far more. It's like Adam Sandler, where like Adam Sandler used to kind of do it well, like the thing he did, but then it's like, I guess I do this thing, so this is what I'm gonna do, and I'll just go through the paces like, all right, well,
Right.
this is actually somewhat depressing to watch.
Right, like anyone at any job, basically.
So this is where the confusion of the movie starts to happen. Blaine, the bad guy, which again, from about 1981 through 94, I'd say about 65% of douchebag guys in high school and movies were named Blaine.
We're named Blaine, yeah.
He's the bad guy, as
Yes.
established. But then the bad guy starts being picked on by the preps.
Well, no, you're thinking of Jack. Jack is the bad guy in the speech class, and then Blaine is the prep.
Wait. The guy in the speech class is Jack,
Yes.
and that's the brother of the lady he ends up dating.
No, Blaine is
Oh.
the brother.
See, this is what fucked me up, because
Yeah.
there's two groups of what should be
Yeah,
the bad
of
guys.
the
you know,
same- of the same
But that's
guys,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. This is such a weird fucking setup where it's like the main rivalry is like you're watching two groups of assholes, and your lead character isn't involved in either.
Right.
It's-
So what this all blows up because after the speech class, Jack is all mad because his girlfriend is making eyes at Goosen, at Mitchell, and then they have a thing like, oh, there's hockey after school. Let's make him play hockey. Ha ha ha! Make the surfer boy play hockey. They're playing hockey against the preps, and
Yeah.
they lose to the preps because when they put Mitchell in, Mitchell, because he's awesome and everything, powerfully hits the puck into his own goal. And Jack Black has a funny moment where he's losing his mind and falls over.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
But then that establishes that, and then Blaine. There's this weird moment where he has hit the thing into the goal, and then
The puck?
no, the hockey ball.
The puck.
I don't know your technical terms. I don't know the original Latin.
Fine. The Midsummer Night's Dream.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Suck it, nerd boy.
But so then Jack Black is like yelling at him, and I guess does someone hit him or he falls over?
Blaine or Jack, because I've confused them.
Yeah.
Apparently, does a full runs across the hockey court on his.
That's what it's mirroring his earlier dream
hockey
sequence.
Surfboards and hits him, and then he gets knocked out, and he imagines waves, and then imagines his dog licking his face, waking up to Wiley, hopefully not licking his face, looking down upon him.
This whole movie is a. I mean, the Cold War had ended at this point. The Berlin Wall had came down, but this was grinding the boot heel into Soviet culture by just screwing over Soviets montage. Digi Vertov, Eisenstein, screw you guys. It's the era of Rob Bowman and Airborne, because this entire movie is made up of montages. We already had the speech class montage.
Yeah.
Now we have the him knocked out, weird dream sequence, people yelling at him montage. Then it becomes the punishment for this montage. Then later it's the rollerblade like it's all just
No, there's a
series of
shitload of montage,
montages.
yeah.
And it was at this point that I started to kind of notice, like, there's barely a plot here. It's
Yeah.
all just a way to do montages.
Now, we rarely on the show actually talk about movies or film as a topic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry to put you on the professorial spot here, but
Yeah.
I was not aware that a montage is related to Russian cinema.
Russian, yeah, they were the big things of it. Like, it was Kuleshov, I believe, was the and I've actually I think talked about this on the show, where it's he filmed a guy just giving a blank stare, and then like intercut it with like, here's a guy doing a blank stare, and then they'd show food, and they'd show the guy again, and people would be like, he's very hungry. Because by juxtaposing those two
Yeah, no, we were
images.
talking about like acting style of like, you
Right,
just
but
stare at camera.
that was the Kuleshov effect.
Oh, I
was doing that. Yeah, they, like Eisenstein was big in montage. Digi Vertov's Man with the Movie Camera was basically all montage. So yeah.
I don't think I ever put I mean, like, I've seen a fair amount of Russian stuff, like, especially older Russian stuff, like, that makes sense to me. I guess I just never knew that was like a one-to-one association.
Yeah, that was a thing. I mean, I don't know that they like invented it, but they were known for it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, anyway, back to jokes about weird blonde kids and how they're semi-racist.
So, whatever. It does not matter. I was going to reference that how weird it was that when they're trying to put together the hockey game, Snake just joins. Like, they couldn't have Snake already be on the team. Snake was like, I'll fill in too. And they're like, great. Now we still need one more.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
when they choose.
Why not just have Snake be on the team? I don't. It does not matter.
No, it is. Yeah, it is so weird. That's what I was saying earlier, where this goes beat by beat. It's the exact setup of any kind of teen, Nick movie. But it's like one frame over from that, where it's like the obvious, so the obvious thing is we're one person short. Wiley or Mitchell has to be on the team.
Yeah.
No, we're two people short. We need Snake on the team, and
No.
one of them. It's just like
Well, much like
everything in
we'll
this
get
movie
to
is
the race at the end, where it's like, oh no, there's not a winner. 3 people need to win.
Yeah,
Apparently,
it's so
like, wait,
fun-
what?
Okay, so we're completely out of order, but because I'm gonna forget later. We're talking about the 3 people have to cross the line race. The entire setup of that is everybody else is knocked out, and Wiley comes slowly cruising in at the end to be the third on their team.
Yeah.
He ends up winning. That doesn't happen. Every part of it, like any other movie, that would be the setup, that he comes like, Mitchell does the hardcore race with Blaine Jack, because now I realize I've confused them. And then everybody else is knocked out. Wiley comes like, skating backwards. Whoa, I'm wacky, and wins. Nope. The race is over. It's everything about this movie is like one sliver away from the rote normal thing.
Well, which brings us to our next thing, which is very weird. So after this hockey humiliation, he's all bummed and he goes back home, and Edie McClurg is like, "Oh, hey, your parents called us. They're doing fine, but they sent you a package." He immediately knows what it is, and he's like, "Something I shouldn't have forgotten," and it's his sick ass rollerblades that his parents took to Australia and then shipped to him.
I don't know.
Yeah, like it was like I get the moment that like, oh, I do have something. There's something here for me I can still do, but I don't understand why his parents. It doesn't. If you look at it at all, it just falls apart.
See, I didn't even pick up that his parents said it. I thought she just said you got a big package.
Yeah,
and then she blew him. But
different movie.
Yeah. So you got a big package. He goes, oh, he knows what it is. I didn't hear the parent part, but either way, even if you just got a package, who the fuck sent him that? Like, where did? Yeah. So he now has the rollerblades.
Yes.
So he skates around and he runs into love interest who I have no idea what her name is.
Yeah. Well, he first meets love interest.
This is the first skating sequence he meets love interest. I mean, he meets her at school, but I mean, he runs into her.
Yeah, well, he talks to her at school, and they kind of have a little hit up, like watching people play hockey before he gets thrown into it. But then he meets her. Nikki is her
Nikki.
name.
That's correct.
Yeah, and well, he's already like, people are loving watching him rollerblade because Cincinnati loves the blades.
It's true.
And he encounters some kids, and they're amazed by his pulling fat Mickeys or whatever moves he's doing, and then he meets her. She's going to, what is that, like an arboretum or a greenhouse conservatory?
Yeah, she's going to, I'm going to refer to it as a botanical garden.
That works.
Yes.
And the wooing commences.
Yeah, they're walking around and he's like, that's totally a peace lily. And she's like, oh, flowers? He's like, yeah, my parents are zoologists, so inexplicably I know about flora, even though they study fauna. Mm-hmm. Because that does make any sense. Sorry to go all Latin on you listeners, but I'm dropping some fucking science, y'all.
Boom.
And then comes the dumbest thing ever. So let me step back here. Right? So recently I've been admitting a lot about my past, my vampire roots. This is one of my skateboarding roots. I skateboarded for many years. I was kind of okay at it. Like I could, jump down steps. I was good at it. I could make the board flip under my feet and then land on it on purpose. That scene in the botanical gardens, he goes, oh, I couldn't resist, because he couldn't resist skating in a really, really easy fashion, getting to steps, running up the steps in his rollerblades, getting to the other steps, running down the steps in his rollerblades, and then just going around a path a bit.
Yeah.
This is not a tempting thing to
Sounds
do
good
on a
to
pair
me.
of rollerblades. Yes.
A whole lot of walking while on rollerblades.
Because that's essentially what you would be able to do on a pair of rollerblades, is what he attempted there. It was again, why that? Why wouldn't they go to a place where oh, I couldn't resist. And then he can do a flip down a flight of steps or do a John's favorite move, a Fat Mickey.
Yes.
Towards a pool.
What I think is that, so this was really on the heels of like the X Games starting to get big and extreme sports or whatever starting to in its nascent years. And I think it was just a way for people to go like, hey, rollerblading's cool, but like, let's make it somewhat accessible. Like, it doesn't always have to be in a half pipe, although he was, and they're with other people rollerblading earlier. But now it's just like, no, you can also skate at a botanical garden
leisurely down a garden path.
Yeah. So you don't have to, get in on it, Grandma. It's cool.
So yeah, that is where they agree to go on a double date with Wiley.
Well, before that, he has just the greatest conversation where she asks him, they're making small talk, and she asks him, if you could have lunch with any three people in the world, alive, dead, fictitious, who would it be? And he's like, well, I'd have to say Tom Curran, greatest surfer in the world. Now that would be cool. And maybe Gandhi. Not for lunch, though. He wouldn't eat lunch.
Yeah.
And he references Gandhi several times in this movie. And Gandhi this is such a loss for Gandhi. Because at one point when he's talking about like fighting, and he wouldn't fight because like Gandhi would roll in his grave. Yeah, I'm sure Gandhi really cares what Mitchell Goosen is up to. Although there is a thing that comes up in their earlier conversation and is really untapped, but they try to use it to explain his smoothness, his cool under pressure, is that there was a surfer who was so angry at people getting his waves, and this one kid was like stealing his wave, and he went out after him, and then whatever the 3 pointy things are on a surfboard, like cut that kid's head open, and then it turns out the surfer that was angry, that was Mitchell.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh cool, this kid's a powder keg. Like, he's just waiting that's just all just being pressed down. But somehow, after inflicting damage on a person else, he's...
So basically what they said was, the interesting movie already happened, and let's deal with the aftermath.
But I just want to, not to bury the lead on how awful that Gandhi thing is.
Yeah, it's up there with during UHF where they advertised Gandhi too.
Right.
Yeah.
But the third person, she's like, the third one? I'd have to say you. Me? You can have lunch with anyone in the world and you choose me? You're not just anyone. You're special. Like, that seems so, like, Playboy, pickup artist kind of shit. But she loves it, so they go out on a date.
John?
Yeah.
If you had three people, alive, dead, or fictitious, that you could have lunch with, who would it be?
Rob Bowen, David Ayers, and Zack Snyder.
I think it would be me, you, and the first guy that ever made a human centipede. So,
like as in, oh no, the creator, not like the first guy in a human centipede.
No, that made one. So, so the three of us could finally be together forever. So that's the Arboretum, but I think we're somewhat out of order. But we skipped a very important scene. There's a lot of showering in this movie, and the first of which is during the Pranks montage. Or should I der Pranks montage?
Yeah, so all the jocks are like angry at him losing this.
Are they jocks? Because they're being picked on by jocks.
Yes, well, no, they're being picked on by different jocks.
I know, it's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I will not keep harping on that.
The hierarchy doesn't make any sense. But yeah, they're angry that they lost this gym class game, I guess. And so, yeah, there's this montage of like them, like Wiley gets stuck to his locker. They put super glue on his lock.
Goosen is shitting because that's a great thing to see your handsome lead character. And they wet all the toilet paper, which, I mean, not to, but you just use wet toilet paper. It's not like that stops them.
That's the thing I've never seen before, where the toilet paper is hung at the top of the stall by a chain. I've never seen that before.
Well, they're just trying to teach it a lesson.
Oh, okay. BDSM toilet paper.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be a fucking bidet next time, asshole.
But yeah, and then he's showering and they steal his clothes and he has to wear funny jockman clothes.
Which again, okay, so let's stop here again. This movie being a shade away from what should happen. It should be and he has to walk holding his hands over his nuts.
Or like a towel or something.
But no, he's got so basically he was mildly inconvenienced.
Yeah, he just has to wear shoes that are too big.
Yeah, there was sand in his locker, And so this is a prank, and this is driving him to his limit, and that's when the
when the
rollerblade scenes.
Yeah.
But I just want to set that up because it was the second time we've lovingly embraced this naked 15-year-old, because they show him a lot, and normally I'm
fine with naked 15-year-olds.
In film, it's usually somebody's 26 plays a 15-year-old.
Sure.
But they keep having these shots where you see he's got baby fuzz still on his face, and it made me very uncomfortable that we kept seeing him shirtless, where it's just, oh, no. I like the Luke Perry style high school, where it's like
the 50-year-old high school.
Yeah, exactly. Because most of the time you see somebody, Tom Holland's 22 and he plays a 17-year-old. Like, so it's like,
sure.
Okay, so I still don't really want to watch this. But I can feel okay with it. But this really felt like, oh, you've exploited a child into showering on camera multiple times.
What are you, Bryan Singer? Yeah.
Oh, did Bryan Singer?
Yeah,
oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, there's as apt pupil. There were apparently like several.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
So, and then there's that half pipe scene where he goes to the half pipe and
skates with some people,
which was kind of cool to watch. Like it was good. It was good blading.
I'm not gonna fault a movie about rollerblading for having a lot of rollerblading.
Yeah, but I mean, it was at least this time it was like good rollerblading,
and
they made no effort to cover his face up when he's on the half pipe. Like that obviously isn't him.
Yeah.
And then it comes to my favorite section of the movie. It is revealed to Wiley, "Oh, I have a date tonight. Well, I hope she's not ugly. Yada yada. I'm a terrible character." And one, he sucks at brushing. His entire face is covered in toothpaste.
But that's funny.
And then this is the highlight of the film, the "I'm too sexy" montage.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about this. Like, okay, so I listen to other movie review shows at times, not to name them, and I will listen to them having not watched the film because it's just I like the banter or the interaction with the host. And if anybody out there is in my situation where you're listening to this right now and you have not watched Airborne, somehow find the "I'm too sexy" dressing montage.
Yeah, I'm sure if you dress up scene or I don't know.
Yeah, because it is Seth Green wearing various 90s outfits.
Yeah.
And it is and he kind of dances and prances to it, and Mitchell is just laughing as hard as he possibly can at his cousin. But the problem is, no, there's a million problems. So one, watch it. But I can't. Okay, let me list the problems starting with this one. Just one. At one point, Wiley comes out in the outfit that he met him in. Wiley's wearing that fringe jacket and Lennon glasses, and they cut to Mitchell pointing at him and laughing.
Yes.
That's his regular clothes. Our hero is bullying his cousin, who is letting him sleep in his fucking room.
Cycle of violence, baby.
Jesus Christ, on a crutch. But also, John, say something about the montage while I try to regather myself.
Whenever you're if you're ever trying to write a script and you're stuck, just have a part where characters try on different hats or funny little outfits, because that's always good. Never not bad.
When he comes out dressed in like 90s hip hop, where everything was like they were in like a tent, like they were in striped tents. That's how people in the 90s dressed. And he starts doing the arms out white person and doing an impression of hip hop dancing. One, he did a bad impression of a bad impression.
That's Wiley for you.
Please watch this scene, everybody.
It's great. It actually did, like, at the time and all the times it was on Comedy Central or whatever. Like, I'd always roll my eyes at this scene. But there was a part of me this time around that was like, oh man, I remember those clothes.
Yeah, no, I unapologetically enjoyed this part, but in a very like. Oh, this is
with the exception of the pink halter top thing he was wearing. I'm like, I don't remember. I mean, club kids were a thing. In fact, Seth Green was famously in, not famously, but he was in Party Monster with Macaulay Culkin about the that club kid scene.
Well, I like that halter top thing because I do like every now and again to have like a nice jerk sesh while we watch these movies. And finally,
that would
I
do
got
it.
a little bit of that in that. Oh, have we gone to the scene where he pants that guy?
That's coming up.
Okay, because that was a thing. Yeah, it's the I'm too sexy montage, and then they go to pick up their dates.
Yes.
And Wiley's date, she is not pleased.
She's not pleased. She is also. Let me look up the actress here real quick. Wiley's date is
Leah Remini.
no, is not.
Sort of looks like her a little bit.
Is played by Alana Ubach. I'm sorry, Alana Ubach, Ubach. Gloria, who I mainly know from Beekman's World. There's a weird, like, Saturday morning science show with the guy who had like a racer head kind of thing.
No, I remember Beekman's World.
And
I
totally had a crush on her
Oh,
when I
really?
was a kid.
Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
and so I was this weird, like, oh yeah, you,
how
huh?
sweet.
Yeah.
Here's why she's the worst human. They get walked out to the car, and she stands there in a huff because no one opened the door for her.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck your face, you jerk-ass jerk. Like, you're not even giving this kid a chance. Like, that just annoyed me. You're an independent woman. It's 1993. You can open your own goddamn door.
I just was thinking about A Bronx Tale.
Oh, yeah, or you get to open the door test? Yeah.
Yeah. Like where it's like if you know the girl, if you let the girl in the car and if she leans over and unlocks it for you, that's the girl to keep. Otherwise she's big, forget about her.
Yeah.
And I forgot how much that just like was in my regular life for a while. Like where I would like go on a date or something and be like, I wonder if she did. All right, this is gonna be good. Thank you, Chaz Palminteri.
But also, just why are you waiting there for a dude to open your door for you?
No, yeah,
Just
you know,
just
it's Midwest, man.
What an asshole.
We have standards.
But let me point this out though. I'm very lonely and I'm never gonna know love again.
Yeah.
So this is probably part of the reason.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's
You
because
don't
my
open
door
doors for
holding.
people.
Yeah. They go on a date and they go to the waterfront, and Wiley is not doing well.
Oh
at
no,
dating.
and he's laying it on thick.
But Mitchell is just knocking it out of the park. They are smooching.
Yep,
They got a little smooch going on, John.
it's going down.
So this is when the big fight happens.
Yes.
Because there's like they're at the pizza place, and then like this is kind of why I'm throwing it to you because I don't know who anybody is.
This is where the convergence of jocks happen.
Yeah, because
like
that's
it's
why I'm confused.
like it's a crossover comic book thing. So
Yeah, it's like Avengers and Avengers West Coast.
yeah, so they start getting harassed, and you think it's Jack and them, but then it's Blaine being from the other hockey team, or is it? Because now I'm confused.
It's his date's brother.
Okay, so all right, no, so I'm right with this. So yeah, so Blaine is Nikki's brother, but someone else was like hitting on her or something, or was a creep about her.
I think it was one of those douches from the other hockey team.
Right.
Rolled in, said like, why don't you get rid of the zero and get with the hero kind of thing.
And then, yeah, I'm confused because there's so many jocks. There's too many jocks.
So, bad guy from other team, let's call him Prep, walks in,
Blaine.
says, we call him Prep. Walks in, says, hey, I don't think you have any agency. I'm going to take you away right now.
Uh-huh.
And then Wiley's like, hey, I'm going to be chivalrous, and gets thrown against the wall. Then brother shows up, says, hey, you can't talk to my sister like that. And then that gets broken up. And then Mitchell shows up, like comes out from the side and goes,
right.
Well, I'm on a date with her. And he goes, no, lady, you don't have agency because I'm the good bad guy. Because I also don't think you have agency, but I'm not going to get handsy. I don't know who to root for here.
Yeah. But then so in the confrontation, Mitchell is like, you want me to fight you? Well, I'm not going to fight. I don't fight. And also, like, I leave here in 3 months. No one in this town is worth a damn. No one is worth me getting into anything. Y'all suck. F y'all. And Nikki's like, I'm standing right here.
Yeah,
and
like
then,
I'm one of the people you say you don't care about. Hey.
And then leaves in a huff. And then
sorry, just for a small point, just going back to this school year making no sense. He's like in the middle of winter, was there for 3 weeks. And then 3 months later, he's going back. That's not like
no. The time does not.
So their school
time
year
doesn't work the same in Cincinnati.
Their school year is like 5.5 months.
They go to school inside of a
and
TARDIS.
Then, 7 days of which is the winter. Because also it's the dead of winter until he gets his rollerblades, and then it's like it's just oh no, it's 67 and sunny.
That is actually very accurately Midwest.
Oh really?
Where particularly like in like February, March or something, it's like it is bitterly cold. Now it is gorgeous, and that is all on the same day. But then inexplicably, when they're leaving, the Big Men's World lady gives Wiley a little peck, and then leaves.
Because he sort of stood up for her.
Yeah. And so she is like, yeah, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
That was enough. Low bar again. You're not the only one with a low bar with this movie.
Oh yeah, okay. So he tries to win back Nikki now. Now I know where I am in this movie.
All right.
And she's like, "Fuck you, you dick." Rightfully so.
Well, yeah, because he's not taking the L very well, and then later at some like street hockey game, he runs into her.
No. This is before he seeks her out, and she's like, "Fuck you, I'm not talking to you."
Oh, sorry.
Then he goes to the street hockey game,
right?
Because he's already been rejected about twice. Third time, he went, "I'm coming here with a motherfucking plan."
Right.
Rolls in, he's like, "Hey, can you talk?" "I don't really want to talk." And he goes, "All right. Hey, can I play street hockey with you guys?" He demonstrates how great he is at street hockey, gets hit a little bit.
But because now that he's on rollerblades.
Exactly.
Now he knows what he's doing.
Because somehow, when you're on rollerblades, makes you know how to control a street hockey ball.
Yeah, way better than ice.
Because that's weird.
Yeah.
He shoots, he scores, it's great, and then he gets hit, and there's going to be a fight, and he's like, "No, I'm not going to fight you, man." Everybody's like, "Oh, you're kind of a puss. Like, this sucks." What he does, though, and John, this is brilliant.
Good.
Circles around and pantses the man.
Uh-huh.
And that wins her back over.
Yep.
So, John, listen to me right here.
Yeah.
John,
Yeah.
look me in the eyes.
Yes.
We watched a movie
Yes.
where a guy won a girl back by pantsing another man.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Well, he was it was a little bit more than that.
No,
that was I'm someone that
John,
hates Mitchell. He was a little conciliatory about his previous statements.
Because she didn't give a shit about the conciliatory. He pantsed her.
Yeah.
Him. And then,
She likes his free
which I
spirit.
really like, Jack Black just flipping the fuck out laughing, going, "Funny!" All
Yeah.
he can do is shake and point and say funny. I very much enjoyed that again, just flashing back to the 90s of going, "Oh, this is great."
Well, the one thing I'll give this, and hat tip to Rob Bowman for realizing this, is that being angry on rollerblades is very funny. And when Blaine is like freaking out and like jumping up and down on rollerblades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like, "Move the cars!"
Like he's just losing his mind. Everyone's just laughing at him and he just gets madder and madder. Yeah, no, there's nothing that's not dumb about rollerblades. So being very mad on rollerblades is very funny.
All right, so he's won her back via pantsing, which is again the greatest thing that can happen in a film.
Yes.
And then somehow they have to have a big race.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, so basically, then all the jocks come to his home, and
Oh, that's right.
yeah, like Wiley's there is like, "What's going on?" And all the jocks come in, and they're like, "Hey, bro, we saw you on the skates out there, and you were good, and somehow we need to settle the score with the preps, and they're doing this huge race, and this is our last chance to beat them."
Yeah, and we're gonna race down Death Mountain or
yeah.
what the fuck it was called.
Which I liked Seth Green's explanation of it, where it's like, that hill is terrible. The last time I saw it, just a guy was walking down it, and he got all messed up. Like, it was very in character for Wiley to not be able to articulate that correctly. But I also like the idea of a hill so terrible that just walking down.
Yeah, a guy just walking down and got paralyzed or whatever. Yeah.
Which also I skipped over. So two of the jocks are twins.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and that was I got nothing to add to that. They were just twins, and twins in movies are weird. The only good twins are the Matrix guys and the people from Step Up 3D. There are a couple of dancing twins in that.
The big race happens. It is the guys we like plus a couple of the dickheads versus the kind of German-looking other team that are full of dickheads, and I think one of them we actually know who they are.
Yeah, so it's basically. Have you ever seen Breaking Away?
I think I have.
Like bike racing movie, like so it's.
Oh yeah,
part
no,
of it's
totally.
like with like the cutters.
Yes, 100%.
So basically, this kid got bullied by the cutters,
Yeah.
and then the cutters went like, "Hey, you're all right. You're one of us."
Yeah.
But then the preps are all shit on the cutters, and so
Yeah.
that's your hierarchy.
It still doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, but like that's the closest thing I can come to, and
Yeah.
like nothing is at stake. Absolutely nothing is at stake in this race.
Yeah, there's a lot of near death experiences happening in this race.
Yes.
For there's nothing on the line.
Yeah. Like people are willing to die for.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's, it's
It's
teenagers.
fun. I enjoyed the race.
Yeah. It's just one of those things, like, I'm just trying to think of like back when I was that age. I'm like, yeah, I probably would do that.
Yeah.
So they're about the race. Wiley shows up and he's bad at skating. And again, I just can't stress enough. He shows up. Why is he not the third guy hilariously stumbling across the finish line? It makes no fucking sense.
So this race is going on, and it's a great montage, but some neat rollerblading scenes happen.
Well, let me stop. Keep that thought. Just rollerblading thing. The early on, where one of the German Nazi bad guys that's fighting Goose tries to push him off, and he lifts one leg and rides the rail that's stopping on the side of the road. The guardrail. I thought I've just never seen that before. I'm like, oh, that would really work.
Right.
That's cinematic. It was just one of those things of like, I've been watching this movie for, I'm going to say 74 hours at this point, and I went, oh, that's genuinely cool. I've never thought of that. Sorry.
Well, no, but I also just like the idea that like the team unleashed their secret weapon, shoving.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this whole race is going on, and different goofy things happen. Jack Black takes a wrong turn and flies off a hill.
And he hits. Where he gets hit with a tree?
Yeah, right in the junk.
His testicles.
Yep.
Yeah.
The funniest part of the body. And so this race is just happening, and maybe I just missed the rules at the beginning, because at a certain point, like,
No, they literally say, "Here's the rules. There are no rules."
okay, well there are rules
Direct
because
quote, yeah.
because
First three people to cross the finish line wins.
Okay,
Yeah.
they did say that.
They established first three people to cross the finish line wins, but there's no rules after that.
Okay,
That's
I guess I missed the 3 point, because as soon as the first two guys won, I'm like, I thought he won the race. Like, oh no, we're ahead 2-1.
Yeah, no, they established it's the first three people over, which is why the whole Wiley not being the hilarious third person stumbling over the line doesn't.
Races generally, there's usually like a first place winner, and then that's good. Like the race is kind of, there's a winner at that point.
I don't know enough about racing, because I think like bike racing and shit, like Tour de France and stuff, I think
There's usually like
it's not. No, but I think it's like order.
Like there's like your team can win points, I guess. Maybe
No, but I think it's like order of finish over the course of X number of things, like combined, lets you win.
But it's not like Lance Armstrong and 3 other people won the Tour de France that year.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. The only thing I can say to that is that it's the movie Airborne.
Yeah.
So,
I was a little, because I guess I had just sort of was glazed over with rollerblading at that point.
I had glazed over earlier, and this is when I got back into it, because I remember this scene being kind of badass.
Yeah,
and this scene was not nearly as good as I remember it, weirdly enough.
Yeah, and because like with those two guys win the race, and then it's like, oh no, we're ahead 2-1. Someone has already crossed the finish line.
Yeah,
and I was just like, oh, I guess there's more movie to happen.
So here's the question: so they're going down the hill. There's that cool thing where he jumps a car, which is neat. Blah blah blah. But how did Mitchell get so far behind?
I don't know,
because
he's not actually that good at it. I don't know.
The first 10 minutes of this, he's well behind. Like he's coming from the back. He has to and his big shortcut, which this is the scene. I remember this scene being so fucking cool when I was young. Is where he goes, oh, I have to cut these guys off. And he jumps onto the roof of a car, off the roof of a car, onto the back of a loading truck, and then slides down the loading truck.
Well, I mean, he jumps off a roof of a car, like on the top of a parking structure.
Yeah.
Like he puts himself in serious physical harm for no good reason.
But when he lands, he falls on his butt, slides down, and then gets up. Because again, that doesn't look very clean. Maybe it's because I come from a skateboarding background. That would be a fall in skateboarding terminology. Like you would land and then roll.
Well, what was weirder to me is the text that flashed: "Try this, kids. Try this, kids."
I did like that. Yeah.
That was unexpected.
Yeah. Helmets make you look like an asshole. I like that part. Yeah.
Live free.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's to make his last run. He knows he has to make that shortcut, and and meanwhile, like Wiley has gotten a ride part of the way? Oh no, that's after they win.
So Riley and some other guy, Riley and Broken Nose guy. Fuck you, I don't care. Don't dare correct me on the fucking names for this piece of shit movie. I'll take you outside and not fight you and then tell you about Gandhi.
Please don't. Can you just kick my ass, please?
we forgot Nikki's brother, who is named
Blaine,
has fallen.
uh-huh,
And this is the big thing of going, oh, well, I can go across the finish line, or I could pick you up and help you. And he picks him up, and they skate across the finish line together in a moment of solidarity. Because Snake has already crossed the line.
right.
But it doesn't make that. Sorry to keep fucking picking it, but Snake's across the line, so it's 2-1. Good guys versus bad guys. If Mitchell had not picked up Blaine and crossed the line, it would be 2-2.
Right.
So we'd just have to wait for Blaine to stand up and cross the line. So this entire moral, oh, should I go back or shouldn't I go back to pick you up? There's no choice there because there's no time. Like there's nothing on the line anymore. Because if he had crossed the line, he would just sit there waiting for Blaine to get up and stare at him. It's just so right here. They cross the line and they win. It's a big celebration. And then Wiley and Broken Nose Guy, I think it's Broken Nose Guy, go over the.
No, it was the other. It was one of the preps.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah. They apparently had gone.
It was the prep that just bailed as soon as anything went bad. Things started going bad in the initial. Yeah.
So they had gotten fucked up. So they got a ride back and then snuck their way back into the celebration, pretending that they had crossed the finish line.
Yeah.
And Mitchell, Snake, and Blaine get raised up, and they do a three-way high five, which is very impressive because I often miss high fives with just one person.
Oh, you got to look at the elbow. That's the trick.
Yeah, but imagine two elbows, John.
Oh, okay.
Just imagine two elbows.
I can't.
The
technology's just not there.
This is fucking great. We cleaned the cube. We did it. Oh, sorry. And they're like, and then I don't know where Leah Remini goes and kisses Wiley.
Yes. And while they're kissing, then Wiley stops and goes, Popeye, there was a great man, which, okay.
Yeah.
So I think the message is that he learned to be himself, but apparently being himself is just copying whatever Mitchell does.
No, he has no arc. He literally is just copying someone else.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, just shut up and kiss me because you stood up to
he's
someone.
Fun. Yeah.
I guess. And then, he makes out with the pretty lady, and then that's it. That's it. It ended.
That's how you get airborne, baby.
That is how you get airborne. I mean, it's also how you keep away cold and flus. Airborne.
Yeah.
The cold and flu, greatest thing ever.
I mean, like I didn't expect anything of this movie going into it, having had seen it a whole bunch of times. It's pretty. If you like montages, go ahead and check this movie out. But it is. It's 90 minutes, so that's not too bad.
I think this movie's fucking rad as hell. I can't recommend it enough in this exact circumstance, which I've said many times before. On mute, at a bar or a party, and you can just look over every now and again and go,
just
what the
gaze
fuck
at Mitchell's
is this?
chest.
Yeah, just the red. Yeah. Oh, or Wiley's chest because he takes a nice shower scene too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
he had great hair in this movie.
His hair was pretty whatever the 1993 term would be for
luxuriant.
Cool. No, I was just trying to think of like a 93 term, but I can't remember any.
Sweet.
I did a lot of MDMA back then. I thoroughly enjoyed watching this while my phone was out.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, it's not. No, it's a terrible movie, but like it's
as far as things that we've watched, it didn't like really instill me with rage. It was just like I think part of it was the distance from it. If this had come out like last year, or something like that, but I think it's like, I kind of remember the 90s and we made shit then too.
I was about to say, if you're ±5 from our ages, I think you're going to enjoy this because this is like a very like, oh, look at that shit.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like having rewatched Scream recently, which is not a movie that I like thoroughly enjoy, honestly, but this time around was much more like, oh God, I remember this whole era and having that nostalgia to it. But there's better movies that would probably do that for you. But if you want to relive what it would be like to be bored on a Saturday afternoon, watch Airborne. All right. So that was Airborne. We spent some time with some party bras, but how about we spend some time with Mardi Gras and go to Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
I tell you what, that's something I don't want to say. Well, I tell you what.
He just said Nicolas Cage and Werner Herzog in a not a remake exactly, but a movie called Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
Just looking at dick and then so when you keep party girls giving over.
Fair point. I saw this movie when it came out, and that was like, I don't know, sometime after like 2009, and I have yet to form an opinion about it. So I'm hoping that this second time around will solidify into something, because it is a doozy. It's something else.
I think I watched a little bit of it
Yeah.
and then either fell asleep or stopped caring. So
Yeah,
I have less than an opinion. I think I saw a bit. There may be an alligator. That's my only memory of it.
Yep. Yeah. That's correct. There was perhaps an alligator. There are several iguanas and Nicolas Cage. So tune in, turn on, drop out.
Cool.
For that one.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this part of the show, please remember to rate, review, etc. on whatever the podcatcher you're listening to this on. And if you would be so kind, share a link on social media if you are a social media person, because that's the only way anybody else will ever hear of this show.
Speaking of social media, I have been invited by a board game podcast to play a game with them streaming on YouTube. That announcement hasn't been official yet. But as soon as that drops, I'll probably mention it. If you feel like watching a bunch of nerds play a game for a few hours on a Saturday afternoon, stay tuned for that.
Exactly what he said. So between me and John, I would just like to wish you Jaws love.